Hey guys, I want to say I'm grateful for everybody support on kind of this like new format we're trying to do with YouTube and everything like that. So appreciate that. Throw a like or a subscribe if you think it's worth other people checking out. If not, let me know how I can make it better. This is all about not me getting me out there. This is all about other people understanding who Jesus is better and hopefully growing to know and love him. If you have any questions about anything I talk about at all, please leave a comment, because I want this to be beneficial to you. This is not about hearing myself talk, just what I think is important, but what would help you in your life and how you relate to and understand who God is. All right, so let's go. We're still talking about doctrine. If you need more clarification about what a doctrine is, check out that last video. I might even throw some small things up to help with that. But we're talking about the doctrine of the Word of God, okay? And so we talked last time about the New Testament, and we started there, even though that's the back half of the Bible, because it's what we need to understand the first half of the Bible. So it's almost like watching a Christopher Nolan movie or one of the old good M. Night Shyamalan movies, if any of them are good, in the fact that if you know the ending, you can watch the beginning, and the beginning makes way more sense, and you'll understand the better picture. And so the New Testament says, hey everybody, here's what the Old Testament was about. So let's talk about the Old Testament. The Old Testament is from Genesis to I think Malachi in ours. I know I'm blanking on this stuff. Is Genesis to Malachi in our Bible, and so it's old. I mean, old, almost 3,000 years old. Most of the Old Testament is. And the thing that can be very confusing about the Old Testament is you can't read it like you read one of our books, as in you start at the beginning, you read to the end, and it makes sense. It doesn't run like that. It kind of has big history books and then little history books kind of scattered in there. So maybe the best way I can explain that is like a Star Wars movie, okay? If you watch Star Wars Rogue One and you thought that it was going to be the 8th movie, or else the 8th movie in a line, that's not the way Star Wars works. It was released 1, 2, 3, which turned out to be 4, 5, 6. Then they went back and went 1, 2, 3, and then they released 7, and then they released like Rogue One's like I guess maybe 1.5 or something crazy. All right, no, maybe it's just half, okay? And the Old Testament kind of works like that. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, all that runs through history. And then 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, 1 Kings, 2 Kings, and then some of those histories kind of backtrack and retell some of the other history. And then Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, and those stories actually take place in the middle of some of those Old Testament books like 1 Kings or 2 Kings or 1 Chronicles and all those things, okay? So that's just a brief history, but the thing we need to know the most about the Old Testament is that God has been speaking to you and to me from very, very early on. He loves us. He wants us to know him, and throughout almost all of human history, he has explicitly said to you and to me that he is real, that he cares, and that he wants us to know him. All right, guys. Love y'all. Hope y'all have a good one.